hoping that guys are going to be able to realize that through mental health help, through therapy, something I didn't want to do. I kicked like a horse until, my wife said, look, it's you need it. It's not a case of, am I going to be here? Am I going? It's not a case of, it's a wonder if you're going to be here if you don't go. And I finally broke down and went. And through that, through this court case, I'm now in a place where I'm starting to become myself. Of course, I'm still that guy that looks back and goes, what could I have been? No doubt there's part of me that's pissed off inside, and it's dirty and it hurts, the what ifs. But I'm growing to be okay with me and be okay with where you're at here. I'm not in any way happy of my past, but I'm coming to terms with the new me that, it's not that rape boy anymore. I don't have to talk about it unless I want to. It doesn't have to sit inside and eat me up anymore. I don't have to, I still see his face and I still recount those events at times. I'm not gonna lie, it sucks, but I have things in place now that I can, is this real? Is this tangible? Is this true? Is this? That kind of strays me off of those visual cues or whatever. I still have triggers. But I try not to drive past St. Jude. It's kind of that simple. I stay out of those Oregon churches and those simple things. So now I'm hopefully going to be able just to give guys a little bit of hope. That's really it. I wish there was places that I could tell you right now that are available for these people, but I don't know. Find a therapist, reach out, tell a friend, tell your wife, get the shit off your chest. Again, you couldn't put me on live TV, but hey, get it out, because the boy that was standing in front of that room that day grew up, so I had a chance to be me. I had a chance to finally become part of me who was supposed to be, is kind of my thoughts.
By going and testifying.
Oh yeah. And by standing up and giving a face, it's easy to stand behind the curtain and say these things took place, and or now you can say, hey, I want $1 million behind the curtain, but the curtain comes off and there you are. It makes it real. A lot of people don't associate things with people that sit back and don't say anything. So speak up. I don't know how to get this train rolling. I really don't.
What train would you like to see get rolling?
I'd like to see some accountability in the church. I just don't know how to go about it. I'm out of statute of limitations. I've obviously worked with that by going up to the State House on a whim. That was a blessing. I'd like to see that start steamrolling again, but from my belief or my knowledge that they're not going to bring anything back to the table until after the vote here. It could be good, it could be bad, who knows? I don't know. I'm not an educated guy on these situations of, rape and the legality that comes with it. All I'm going on is what I'm being told. I'm doing a little bit of research, but I'm a father of 4, a husband, and I'm working to keep our family alive, which is totally fine. That's what all people do. But I don't have that time to dive into files, reports, people that say this or people that say that. So I believe that there's tons of people out there that this has happened to in the past, not by specifically Geoff Drew, but by members of the Archdiocese, by members of the Boy Scouts, by members of your high school, your gym coaches or whatever, your coaches, teachers, just members of your parish, members of your community. This happens. Speak up. I couldn't be in a place where I actually feel a little bit better in life if I didn't. I wanted 32 years, an eye for an eye. The years that I've struggled through this entire thing, I give back to you. It's your turn. And then we sat on it and like 16. It was just getting extended and extended and extended and delayed and delayed. And I'm like, how do I get this over? Going through the case, emotionally, you're like this. Now, it came down to it. I wanted to hear him say he was guilty. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for anybody here. it was for me. I got to hear him say he was guilty. And again, like I said, that's the only accountability that's ever popped out of that church. And that's sad. So,
Mrs. Neyer, what's this been like for you?
It's been quite a ride. There were points where, I mean, it was absolute living hell trying to help him like navigate all of this, and to watch him every time that the case got delayed, him spiraling, and that just built up every time before something happened. And then it came down to basically watching him make the decision of going through a trial and the questioning and everything that I already watched him go through, or to take a few years just so that they could hear him say guilty. And that's really what it came down to.
How hard was that time for you?
It was really difficult. He was not in a place where he was comfortable with people knowing who he was, which really limited the people that we had to talk to. So it was isolating in a way. So yeah, I mean, it was not, clearly it was not easy.
Were you worried if he was going to make it?
Yeah, the last time, actually, the prosecutor's office called me. He was out of town, and they were trying to call him to let him know that the case was going to be delayed again the last time. And I broke down on the phone and I said, I don't think you guys understand. You're not going to have a victim if this keeps happening. Like, he can't keep going through this. And he said, well, no, I mean, it's okay. We'll be able to get through it. And I said, no, I don't think you understand. I don't think he's going to be alive. Like, you're not here laying next to him every night. You're not the one that watches him actually have to go through this. You get to make a phone call and say, hey, it's going to be delayed. We understand and we're sorry. But you don't understand. You have no idea what it put him through. So, yeah, I mean, it was a mess.
How did you survive something like that?
Leaning on the family that did know. And I've been in therapy for a long time. That was not a difficult pill for me to swallow. So I did thankfully have that outlet. And then just each other. And I think I have said before with some of the other interviews that it was kind of when one of us was going under, the other one was able to kind of pull him up and hang on to him. And then when that one was okay, then the other one could finally kind of break down and go through their struggles. So obviously that defaulted to him. He had to have the breakdowns when he needed to, but once he was okay each time, that was my cue that I could kind of fall apart.
I didn't get a chance to speak with anybody from the Archdiocese from day one to the end of court. And when I called them and I spoke with Miss Maley, Teresa Maley, it was the first time anybody from the Archdiocese looked at me and said to me, I'm sorry. So in that 3 year, she said, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And I can't verbatim what's said afterwards, but I talked about meeting with Archbishop. But that was the first time somebody from the Catholic Church. And when we got down to meet with the Archbishop on December 6th, December 6th, December 8th, I don't remember now. He was the second person to say I'm sorry. And when we brought that up in the meeting, it kind of set the precedent. We didn't know who you were, is what I was told. I don't believe you. And I said that.
You told the Archbishop?
Oh yeah, told him, absolutely, 100%. I don't believe you. Yeah. He's a man. He's a man like you and I. He puts his pants on like you and I. They are men, they are women, they are people of this world. They wake up, they think, they do what we do, they eat cereal or freaking biscuits, but they are people. They don't sit at a higher standard than anybody. They may walk in a higher standard, and that may be their belief, and I congratulate you on that, and you can run with what you want to run with. I believe that Catholicism is okay, but I also believe through the years and the traits and everything that's been at the top, and through this conversation with him, they're just a business. They're just dirty.
What did you say to the Archbishop?
My words, I don't know verbatim what I said, but I basically told him the same thing I told you. These are the steps and where I've become. This is what I've been. this is what I struggle with. I've been through therapy. I told him the things of therapy, the amount of things in my life that this overtook, and he told me that they were going to meet with their group, their board, or what, I don't know what he called it.
No, I think it was the board.
Yeah, that reviews these type of things. And he said, we'll get back to you. And I think it was only a week later they called and said, we'd like to offer you counseling through the Catholic Church.
It was about 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay. So about 2 weeks later, I'd like to offer you counseling through the Catholic Church.
Was that it?
Yeah. And that was from Teresa O'Malley. That was not a call from the Archbishop or anybody of any authority or power or anybody that could stand behind the other side of the phone and have a conversation about why. When I was there, I did say, do I have an opportunity to stand in front of your board and tell them about me? And he didn't, no, it's just a closed board meeting. Why? Why can't I meet with your board? But they did. They came back with the counseling through the Catholic Church, and I told Miss Malley kindly, I was like, ma'am, I said respectfully, I'll see you in court. That's that's disgusting. To put the jacket back on that I once wore by them. You know, let me comfort you again, child. Let me comfort you again, my broken son.